Because if you're the only person that can offer that, you are scarce. So the way that I did it in my agency and still do it is in one of the niches that we're in, we're the only company that guarantees phone calls. Therefore, we are scarce. Right? So, second principle, and I'll go here to my notes here, is the principle of scarcity. Pretty simple. That is, if I can't have it, I want it. Ready? Pretty simple. So, in all of what you guys do with lead gen, you have to find a way to ethically put in that principle of scarcity, right?
So give us a couple examples.
So,
in leads.
Couple of examples in leads. In my agency, what I would do is sell area exclusive. Therefore, it would be scarce, right? But one of the biggest things that you can do with scarcity is this. You have to present your product or service in a context to where you're the only person that can offer that, right? Because if you're the only person that can offer that, you are scarce. So the way that I did it in my agency and still do it is in one of the niches that we're in, we're the only company that guarantees phone calls. Therefore, we are scarce. We're the only person that can do that. You have to find a way to where if they can't get it from you, they're gonna miss out, and it really is scarce.
Yeah, it's your competitive advantage.
Exactly.
Or, something, we talked about that today earlier about,
Yep.
I forget what we were working on, but just the thought process of differentiating yourself in the marketplace and being able to lay that up on a silver platter where people go, oh crap, I never thought of that, right? Sometimes those things are things you guys are already doing in your business. So there's a really good training I did a while back on crafting your perfect offer. If you search this Facebook group for it, I cover a lot of these different things that you guys can be utilizing when you're making your offer to these business owners. I also want you guys to make sure you think about this through two sides, right? So you have your own business where you're generating your own leads, you're closing your own sales, and then you have their business to work on, right? Yep. You're helping them generate the leads, but you're probably also going to need to explain and understand these principles so that when you're consulting them and you come to them and say, hey, here's how I want you guys answering the phones, or here's a really good strategy that works for converting more of your clients into customers, or your leads into customers. I want you to do these things. So these principles will not only apply for your business, but they're going to apply for the business owners that you're consulting and you're doing lead gen for. This also, if you guys really start to understand this, it makes it easy when you're sitting down and you're helping them kind of figure out the best way to lay up their offer to their clients. You have some, 5 or 6 of these things to say, okay, what's the reciprocity? Which one are you on, scarcity?
We're in scarcity, but Dan actually used this principle wonderfully in his window tint business. So part of this is explain to them in a context of why they can't get this elsewhere, right? And what Dan did, I'll let you tell the story, is when you bundled, when they got window tinting, they got all of these other things with the window tint, which is, those are all of your advantages of when they went with your window tint versus another one, of why they couldn't get that elsewhere.
Right. So
beautifully done.
Really briefly, when I was doing lead gen, was one of my very first clients. Some of you guys have heard this story before, but I'm going to breeze through it quickly. One of my very first clients, they were getting about 4 to 5 leads a day in the window tint business. Average job is $200, $250, somewhere in there. And when I took over the business, because they ran it out of business, because they're really bad at the books and all the stuff that we're talking to you guys about right now, they were good at window tinting. They weren't good at the rest of it, right? And so when I got in there, we started implementing different marketing techniques and tactics and sales strategies and whatnot that Mike's teaching you right now to persuade more people to obviously use our window tint business. And so what I figured out really, really quickly was there's a lot of people that were, when I say a lot of people, other competitors that were calling up and finding out why our company was getting all the customers, how we were converting all these leads, people that had called in earlier to them and then called us next. A lot of these people started price shopping us. And so what started to happen was like a race to the bottom. And what I mean by that is they started cutting their price $10 cheaper than our price, and on and on and on and on. And I'm like, listen, I'm not getting into the business of trying to be the cheapest. No one wants to be the cheapest. And these guys don't understand the principles that I do as it pertains to marketing. So what I need to do is create a product that they can't compare themselves to. right? And by doing that, I went out and I found different things in the marketplace from not only other businesses in town. I went to my buddy, he owns sensational tanning salons. He always wants more leads because tanning, you're selling a freaking light that they lay in. So there's tons of margin in there. I got some of those donated. Now I was generating a lead for him, you know, while giving myself this competitive advantage in the marketplace. So all of a sudden, I'm like, you know, we trained our staff that when the call would come in from the lead generation that we're learning here with you guys, that call would come in. It wasn't just, we weren't just another bump on the log. We weren't just another price conscious only. And I knew whether it's $10 or $20, $30, that if I stacked enough value in these other products and services that I knew people maybe weren't buying all the time, but they would consider it if they got something for free out of it. So again, it took some ingenuity, but what I think a lot of you guys can do as you guys do more and more of this is as you guys stack clients in your lead gen properties in a town, it's really easy to go to one or two of them and create packages that these small business owners would not be doing.